So this man posted in the Am I the A-hole thread. The thread is now gone, but I got the screenshots a couple of days ago. He said, girlfriend of 6 years won't stop asking for a ring. Am I the a-hole? So we have seen women talk about expecting a ring, but now we get to hear it from the man's side. He says, so it's exactly as the title suggests. I, 37-year-old man, have been with my girlfriend, who's 35, for 6 years now. We have been living together for 5 years. We both have good jobs that pay well, and money isn't an issue. She has a daughter from a previous relationship, and I've known her since she was 2. So she's now 9. Me and my stepdaughter, so he's calling her the stepdaughter, me and my stepdaughter get along great. Everything is fine, but I'm constantly getting asked by her, when is she going to get a ring? She says she's not willing to look at houses or get a house until she has a ring. We currently rent and have been for the past 5 years. A year and a half ago, I went out and bought a ring because I do plan on marrying her someday. She's the woman I want to be with. I just want to wait until I'm ready and the timing is right for me. I'm also planning an unforgettable, unique way to ask and surprise her, but every other day is her talking about a ring. Even when hanging out with friends, she brings it up and causes uncomfortable conversations with people about it. And it's always, hey, it's time you ask. What are you waiting for? You should really ask her already. Like, shut the F up is not your life and any of your business. I don't want to feel pressured into doing it. Anyway, am I the a-hole for not proposing to my girlfriend of 7 years yet? Buying a house with somebody that you're not married to is very unwise. Please, ladies, don't do this. It's already challenging enough, it seems, from all of these stories that we get, that even living with one of them being unmarried for way too long is also challenging. Getting locked into a year lease seems pretty bad these days. But they have been living together 5 years and she's still asking for a ring. So obviously, she's still at the point of even wanting to be married. I don't know. He didn't say why he's dragging his feet, other than he's really trying to plan a unique way of asking. But obviously, she doesn't care about this. And obviously, because she's asking, he's dragging his feet more. So it doesn't seem like he really wants to, because if you wanted to, you would just do it. But instead of getting married, he wants to buy a house. This seems quite bass backwards to me, but you guys can weigh in. Far Juggernaut says, after 6 years of dating and living together for 5, with both of you nearing 40, what more do you need to be ready? Sounds like she's been clear that she sees marriage as the next step. If I was your girlfriend, I'd be very nervous that you were stringing me along at this point. This is one of the reasons why we need to understand what future faking is, what love bombing is, what breadcrumbing is, because these are the tactics where they give you what you need. Love bombing to secure you, future faking, telling you that these things are going to be like this, and this, but they never actually act on it. The breadcrumbing is just giving you just tidbits, just enough to keep you where they have you without doing any more. So please be aware of these tactics that they use to keep you hooked, but they don't actually put any action behind it. Teach Long Jumping says, oh, I'm 87% sure she gets fed up, they break up, and within 6 months, a year at most, he's engaged to someone else, like actually gave someone that ring. Valuable Match at the bottom says, my boyfriend sounds like the OP. We've been together almost 7 years and no ring. I'm sad because at this point, after waiting so long, I feel like all the hype about it has dwindled and now it's way overdue. I feel like an engagement would be like, finally. I feel for the OP's girlfriend, Sigh. And this person says they've been together for almost 7 years and no ring. I'm sad because at this point, after waiting so long, I feel like all the hype about it has dwindled. That's kind of the point. They string you along to where you just get tired of waiting. And it's just like, oh, well, I'm just going to be the girlfriend forever. They do that on purpose. They are waiting you out. So Teach Long Jumpy says, look up sunk cost fallacy. Anyways, I hope you get what you want and need. Invite Additional says, why do you stay? Is it because it's easier than going through life by yourself? Are you scared of being alone? The wonderful thing about love is that you can always love more. Point is, given time and effort, you can find someone to love just as much as boyfriend, except you'll actually be fulfilled instead of making excuses for yourself. Why do you stay? All of our lives are slowly dwindling away second by second. If you aren't fulfilled and your significant other refuses to fill that role, free yourself to find someone who will love you the way you want to be loved. Staying in an unfulfilling relationship robs you and your partner of the opportunity to find someone more compatible. Emergency Twist says she's also extremely correct to refuse to buy real estate until they're married. If you're not ready to marry, you're not ready for buying property. Sar says, I agree with this. I always think it's nuts when people buy a home together and they haven't made that commitment yet. Emergency Twist says, same for me with kids. That's a real lifetime commitment. Fit General says, BS. In this market at the year point and fathering her cold, financial stability is far more important than marriage. What is far more important depends on the person. because because it might not be financially stable to marry somebody if your paperwork is not in line, if you don't have the same amount of down payment, if you don't get the same amount of equity, that might be financially unstabling for your life as well. And then Christmas Big Dog says, honestly, I agree. On top of that, even if he finds the perfect time, place, and plans a perfect proposal, it will be sullied because she will be wondering, A, why it took so long? And B, is this a shut up ring? C, can she trust him to prioritize her in the relationship growth going forward without having to pull teeth? Exactly. I would have hated my proposal story to be so after 6 long years, 2 of which I had to start seriously asking him to please propose, and him sitting on a purchased ring, just not finding the right moment for a year and a half. Well, we are getting married. I wore him down and have had added some harsh insecurities along the way. Aren't I so lucky? Now just to have moments of self-doubt where I have to question if he is still reluctant. Yeah, what a story. What a story when you think about it. Your engagement, you had to wear your husband down. I had to really just keep going, going, going. And then he finally gave me my shut up ring. Can you imagine? I couldn't imagine. All right, y'all. You guys go ahead and weigh in. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So this was posted in the True Off My Chest subreddit. She says, my husband died and I have to pretend that he was a great man who loved me. She said, my husband passed away 3 months ago. I was relieved of that. He abused me financially, mentally, and even physically. When I got pregnant, he convinced me to quit my job, saying that he would take care of me. I could never buy anything again without asking his permission. I couldn't even buy a cream without asking his permission. And if he decided I could or could not. Even months ago that I had a little money of my own, I had to ask him for permission to buy something. What what was mine was theirs and theirs was theirs. But I stayed there because I still loved him and I didn't have a place to go. I had too low self-esteem and let myself be stepped on. When I stopped loving him, he had already had his first affair. He made me believe that I was to blame for the affair because I didn't want to have X months after my birth that left me torn and I had to receive stitches. So y'all see how this financial control and financial abuse happens. These men convince you to quit your job. So this woman had a job. He convinced her to quit her job, and then he started controlling how she could even buy little things like a cream. Keep that in mind if and when you really decide to be a stay-at-home mom. Are you prepared to ask for things that you need or want? Like you have to ask your dad for some money. She continues with, I was already planning my exit and saving money little by little while I was working, selling things from home, since he wouldn't let me work outside because he was very jealous. I wanted to pay for a lawyer. He was having another affair with a friend of his, which luckily kept him busier, and I didn't care anymore that he didn't pay attention to me. I wanted him to stay as far away as possible. I knew that man, and he knew me. I could have made a big fuss, but I didn't. I kept quiet planning my way out while he and that man slept together in secret. I only felt disgusted by my husband, nothing more. And so it's pretty terrible when you are a spouse that's like relieved that your spouse is having an affair. Like, cool, you stay over there, get your needs met, go ahead, that's great. That is pretty bad. She continues with, but my husband died in a way I never would have expected. He is now a martyr. When someone dies, all the sins of that person disappear, because that's what even my family thinks. Those who knew about his affair and how he manipulated me are now talking about how a good man he was, and we shouldn't insult someone who's dead. Everyone around me talks about how beautiful our relationship was. His family talks about what a great man he was, and how always he focused on giving everything to me and our kid. His affair partner hugged me at the funeral, saying that my husband loved me. Wow. His friends told me what a great person he was. Everyone talks about how good he was and how he's now an angel in heaven. Yeah, death really does make you into a martyr. And I have to pretend to be sad. The day he died, I cried a lot, but not out of sadness. I cried with relief and I felt free. It would have taken me too many years to save to pay for lawyers with my little store without him realizing that I was keeping money in secret. He would have kept everything. He would have made my life a hell. And I know it because he had told me so every time I stood up for myself. But now I have the house, I have everything. I have the monthly money for being a widow. I have my children totally with me. I have started the psychologist. Everyone thinks that I do it to cope with my grief, but no, it's to overcome the abuse I suffered from him. It was really hard to pretend being sad in the funeral, but I did it for my child. I did it because now everything is over and I'm free. If I made a fuss, my ex-mother-in-law would have done something so that I wouldn't keep anything. They were just like him. But now I'm just a sad widow who needs help in their eyes. The silly widow who didn't know anything, but that's helping me to be free and have what I deserve. Sorry for the bad English. I used the traductor for many parts. She says, edit, we're not from an Islamic country, and here same sex couples can live and marry freely. He just cheated on me with a man like he cheated on me with a woman. I guess he was bisexual. So I guess people were asking those questions in the comments. This is one of the reasons why women do not remarry, why they don't just run out, because they were like, been there, done that, got the t-shirts. Imagine having a job and then quitting at the insistence that, at the lies that I will take care of you. So many people just really don't know. How do you vet that? Too many times people are like, you should have chose better, you should have vet. Like, how do you know that someone is lying? How do you vet a liar? The person that you are marrying is not the person that you want to divorce. They are two separate people. People do change. Anyways, I'm glad that this woman got the relief that she got. She did have to play the grieving widow role, but now she can kind of move on. Now she is in the comments, so we're going to do some of these comments. Seaworthiness Fun says, I'm happy for you. You're free. I hope you live the rest of your life in peace. And the crazy thing is, since women are talking about these things in the public sphere, this is another reason why so many other women that are watching these stories are reluctant, because they know the mask that these men wear. They know the manipulation tactics because we are talking about them. So it's like, if men don't change and do better to be supportive, loving partners that aren't just trying to manipulate and control women, then the birth rates will continue to plummet to hell. And this woman is not American. These types of things are happening around the globe, and women are talking about it. Tight Ship says, OP, karma, alleluia, have the a-hole cremated and tell his male partner to shove the remains up his behind, a place your husband apparently visited often. Sarcasm, but that's not really sarcasm. Seriously, you're blessed with divine intervention. Cash out and relocate to be near your family and away from his dysfunctional family if possible. Thank God you're freed from the influence of the insidious a-hole. Olive Begone says, Time to eat, pray, and love, girl. Tight Shift says he deserved no respect in his treatment of his wife. He warranted none because he died his wife by not informing everyone what an unworthy partner he was. Essentially gave him a respect he wasn't entitled to. Amazing doesn't factor anywhere other than an amazing blessing. He is no longer demeaning his wife. The poor woman was tormented by him and still requires therapy as a result. The thing is, it's easy to say this when you're not living her life. You don't know the customs and culture of her country, so she probably still has to edify him around his family because these people probably still have rights. Miss Murderpants says, I'd sell that house and move far, far away from his family. Rosie Daisy says, yes, be completely free of everything and everyone, go far away and continue in bliss. No more acting sad. Okay, here is the OP. She says, for now, I can't sell the house, but in the future, when I get a better job, I plan to move and finally cut off contact with them. For now, I can only move away little by little. Here, there is a law that prohibits preventing grandparents from seeing their grandchildren. So wherever they are, grandparents do have rights. Brown Eyed Girl is wondering why you can't sell the house. You need to go somewhere with no grandparents' rights. Maybe you can rent the house and move somewhere else. Do not let anyone know your next move or what your plans are. Don't tell anyone where you go. Okay, Smooth Impression says, as long as access remains open, though, how will they have a case? If I live 10 minutes from the grandparents, but then move to the opposite side of the country, that does not remove grandparents' access to the grandchild. It just forces them to put effort to do so. And so the OP says, yes, I'm not from there, but in my country, it's like that too. I found out about that recently. So when people give advice, you have to understand the culture. You have to understand that not everybody has the same laws of your state, or your country. So, like even in the United States, from state to state, the laws might be different. So you have to understand where somebody is coming from before you can give advice. All right, jump in the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. This was posted in the Black Lady subreddit. She said, my boyfriend acts like this anytime I want some alone time, and it's making me lose feelings for him. She posted 6 pages of screenshots from him. I'm going to give you guys the caption before reading these text messages. The text messages are kind of draining, so if you want to scroll away after I read the caption, I completely understand. She says, I'm 23 and he's 28. We've been together for almost 4 years, and I've recently decided I want to try new things and stop being under him so much. A while back, I noticed that on most days, he's the only person I'll talk to, and I'll just sit in bed until he calls me, and that's not healthy at all. And I think it's been a big part of why my mental health hasn't been the best. So for the past week or two, I've decided I want to pick up my old hobbies and try new ones. I've started reading again, watching Indian dramas. I didn't know I'd love them so much. Cooking new foods, working out, and going places alone. And overall, these things have made me more happy, and my anxiety isn't through the roof anymore. It really hurts when I just want to take 2 to 3 hours to myself and read a book or watch TV, and I get accused of cheating. Can someone offer me advice? You see, she's 23 and they've been together since she was 19. This is one of the reasons why men want to pluck girls while they're still young, where they think that they can mold them and shape them into what they want. And this woman is trying to find herself. She's trying to find a little bit of her old self and pick up new hobbies. And now this man is seeing that this woman is coming into her own, and he's starting to lash out because his project, his appliance is malfunctioning because she's trying to get some autonomy. So in this case, she is his happiness machine. But when she wants to be her own person and a human, then he starts to think that his happiness machine is malfunctioning. Now let's look at some of these screenshots. Okay, so she says, I'm just trying to watch TV. Hold on. He says, don't call. It's cool. I'll talk to you later. Night. Go ahead and be with that other MFer, because even if you was with your sister, you'd pick up. And then he says, I just want my glasses because I need to see. I peeped how you looked at the other people when we're out, like you want to be with them or something, but rarely do that for me or even encourage me. That N word at blank get more conversation out of my girl than me. That's tragic AF. And you really just gonna ignore me and everything when I was just trying to talk to you after a long day? And she says, don't call me now. I want to be left alone. He says, bye. So you done because I wanted to talk, huh? Just let me know so I can move on. I'm trying to talk to you. If not, I'll just walk. She says, if you want to break up because I want some time to myself, then so be it. He says, forget about it. Now you respond, keep watching, because she said, I'm trying to watch my show. He says, now you respond, keep watching your show. You know that BS, though. It seems like you want an out, though, and I'm not holding you hostage. He's just sending lots and lots of text messages. Look at this at 2:17 a.m. He says, also looking at this and seeing how easily ready to leave the relationship, I think if we do one or two things, I think if we do one or two things, that's a little jumbled right there. Yeah, he just keeps going. One, we can try to work through this. Two, we end this. I understand the honeymoon phase is over, but that doesn't mean you become cold, non-supportive, and distant. They say women leave a relationship months before it's actually over. He says, we've been in this 3 years, but if we're not on the same team, I don't want my time or your time wasted anymore, for real. And seriously, just look at the thread. I was just trying to talk to my love for 5 minutes. I've been at work all day, and this is what I get when I get off. Not I. I care for you, but don't try to play like that. Nah, I don't do this. I can't sleep right now, and this is effing my productivity. I'll let you live your secret life like how you always wanted. All right, so this is the next morning. It says, good morning, and I'm just being honest. I'm feeling tolerated instead of appreciated. Honestly, you talking about how you have more conversation and dudes hitting on you, and then when I call, you're ready to hang up and get me off the phone like I don't matter. That's why I'm now constantly saying, if you're losing interest in me or don't see my value, leave me be. 100. Honestly, I think you this honestly, I think you this to be sneaky. No lie, you're doing this to be sneaky. Or you're entertaining someone else, or vice versa. Don't mistake my self-control as a weakness. What self-control? He says, don't mistake my self-control as weakness. There's no self-control in sending text after text after text. I understand space, but being secretive is different. He says, last thing, and I'm completely done venting. I don't understand how 1 week you can want to do this and that with me. We're having X, and then the next day be on like, yeah, if you want to break up, we can. That's weird AF to me. It seems heartless, and I can't have people like that in my life. And he's still going. Matter of fact, we need to talk tonight to lay a lot of things on the table. I need a vent session to lay some ground, and you can vent as well. But I'm trying to say that's all. But I'm trying. That's all I'm going to say, sweet. Lord, that is draining. Just reading it, that's draining. Imagine living it. And this is just a small snippet of what this girl is going through. The fact that she had to ask for some alone time, ask for, a chance to watch her show, and then he starts venting like this. So this is draining for me. I'm sure it was draining for you to listen to it. Imagine how draining that is. And she's only 23, and he is stomping all over her boundary. Cam Ritchie says 100% break up with him, overbearing and insecure. I would have blocked rather than get all these messages. You've been together for years. But I will say, if you wanted to talk with him, you could have paused your show. Response was unacceptable, though. She says, the thing is, he had called earlier and I answered him. He told me he was going to let me watch my show and he'd go to the gym. Once I was done watching the show, this is what I seen when I looked at my messages. And he said, don't call now. I tried to call him to talk to him, but he didn't want to pick up and went on this rant. The OP says, this isn't the first time he's acted this way. I went to wedding dress shopping with my sister and her friends, and then we all went to lunch. He did the same thing because I didn't check in for 4 hours. So I know that we're having this sister circle while people are talking to her. Hopefully, she's understanding that this isn't normal for you to be away for a little bit and then have someone raging with text messages. Tugboat says you can't even hang out with your sister and her friends. She's like, red flag. But I wanted to highlight this part right here. Nothing about this or his exchange is healthy for you. People either add to your life or take away. That was negative and exhausting. No one needs to go to sleep and wake up to that garbage, period. Anyone that wrecks my peace isn't welcome in my life. I agree with the comment that said you've outgrown that relationship. She has outgrown that relationship. She's becoming a woman, the woman that she wants to be, and he is not taking her assertion of her autonomy very well at all. That's the reason why he is pounding her with these text messages. In another post, and I'm done with the screenshots of these comments, in another post, she said that he lives an hour away. So that's one of the reasons why I guess he didn't just pop up. But that's good because there is some distance. So maybe she can extricate herself. I was looking through her comments to see if she had planned on breaking up with him or not. There's no comments to say that, but I hope that she eventually does. Anyways, go ahead. Let me know what you think about this. Have you been in this type of situation before? This is not right. And this is another reason why, ladies, if you're not in a relationship and you plan to be in a relationship, don't completely lose yourself and become enmeshed with a man. Because soon as you want to start hanging out with your friends again, doing your hobbies, they could start to act like this. Join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.